Welcome to the Portraits Podcast. This is She Got the Power. We are going to review rounds 8 and rounds 9 of the AFLW, the NAB AFLW competition with the Port Adelaide Football Club's involvement. We defeated the Western Bulldogs on a Saturday night and at the Alberton Oval, and then away we lost to Brisbane up in Brisbane. Which was a bit of a battle. I guess we didn't hand it over to Brisbane too lightly, but they are a good outfit, just like the men's team. So we're going to review those two games, guys. Strap yourselves in for the next few minutes to get into the review of that, and at the same time, I may say, welcome to my friend Gavin Watson. G'day, Gavin. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, thanks, Matt. And yourself?
G'day, buddy. Good, thank you. Good. All right, Gav. So, mate, you were at the game against Western Bulldogs. What a fun night that was. A good win. Tell us all about that, and then we'll, as I said, we'll get into, I guess, more detail of the what's going on after the loss against Brisbane.
Yeah, so that was a bit of a struggle early on. The Bulldogs had the better part of the play in the first half, and probably a bit of a residual of the week before, where we gave up a massive lead, 6 goals from St Kilda in the last quarter. So we're very slow or sluggish in the first part, and then from halftime onwards, 6 goals to 2. So we finished definitely all over the top of the Bulldogs. There was some positive signs to take from that.
Yep.
And Indy Tahu going from strength to strength continues to be a big
she's exciting
contributor after her 2 years out.
Yep, she was really good in that game against the Western Bulldogs, and then first goal against the Lions as well. So from a bit of a tight angle, so she's in a rich vein of form, as they say.
Yeah, I think she's fourth in the overall goal kicking for the season. So she's
Brilliant.
She's a roughie to win the whole goal kicking competition.
We'll have to find out the name of that medal competition now. If it's obviously not the Coleman or something, but there might be another name to it.
Yes,
It
I
might
don't think
be
they've named
relevant
any
to
of the
us.
female awards. Yeah.
That's great. Now, Gavin, look, mate, if you wanted to do a bit of a review overall, give us we can highlight, I guess, a bit of a match report as you're saying about the win against the Western Bulldogs, but then we can touch on, I guess, just highlight for starters in this question for me, just a little bit about just the game itself, just how it played out against Brisbane, and kind of guess where we may have even lost it, and I guess again that's another level. We talk about where we kind of sit between 1 and 18, and it's another level again. And I noticed things at the game. I was not at the game, even though I live up in the Gold Coast. I was not able to get to the game up in Brizzy, and but watched it on TV, and I guess just noticed little things where there's a maturity again in our side that we just I guess we're working on, and Brisbane
Yes.
just exposed us.
Yeah. Look, the last 3 games have highlighted where our season has been, in that we've only really had one game where we've played close to 4 quarters.
Yeah.
The St Kilda game, we had 3 good quarters and a really poor last quarter. The Bulldogs game, we started really slowly and had a good 2.5 quarters. And then the Brisbane game, we were a bit wasteful in the first quarter, but we had a really good first half. Look, the one thing you can't question throughout the season is that the side's been full of endeavour, but as you've said, like just at key moments, we've just lacked either the good decision making or composure. For a side that has such a low handball to kick ratio, like we kick significantly more than any other side in the competition.
Yep.
There's occasions, the St Kilda game in the last quarter, the Bulldogs in the second quarter, and the Brisbane game in the second half, when we're in a contested situation where we've just thrown a handball out, which it hasn't been to anybody. And it's our backline. The only major change we've made this year is Ange Foley retired.
Sure.
Maddie Kerrig, she didn't play too much, but we've moved on a bit of experience, and
Sure.
we've lacked that composure in at certain times. Like we've just like hacked kicks out of the back line where
Hmm.
we've had a bit more time and space. So whether it's a talk thing, whether it's a decision making, whether it's a combination of the two.
Yep.
And the other part is that like clearly we've identified that we lack leg speed through the midfield. Um, Ash Woodland has had her last 3 or 4 games have been arguably her best as a
Yeah.
midfielder for the club.
Sure.
I think she AFLW high 11 inside 50 entries.
Okay.
That's the most inside 50 entries by player. Um, and so our leg speed is a bit of an issue.
Great. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and like for me, one of the telling stats was that not saying the side had conceded they weren't going to win, quite the opposite. But
Sure.
we've got a first season player, Lily Patterson, played nearly 70% of game time. And
Hmm.
part of that was through that sad injury that Piper Window, she's had a horrible season injury wise. The clash of heads in the first quarter, which saw her out concussed and needing 8 stitches under her eye. But Lily Patterson playing 70% of game time and playing as a midfielder and having 2 disposals for the game,
Hmm.
it's not going to win you too many matches. And that's not to say that she wasn't working hard and trying to put pressure on, but to only have 2 stats. Emily Borg, last year she was in contention to be in the All-Australian squad, whereas this year the St Kilda game, Wardlaw got hold of her.
Yep.
The game against St Kilda, trying to think of a name. The forward, the full forward for Brisbane got hold of her just
Sure.
a little bit as well. She's
Sure.
just last year she was so strong in the one-on-one
Yeah. She
contests
was. Yeah.
and rarely lost them. Whereas this year she's probably only 50%, and that's just you want a little bit
Yeah.
more from your team leader, just so that
Especially when
that
she's such a
provides a
leader.
little bit of
Yeah.
confidence. Correct.
Yeah.
Provides a bit more confidence. So from the start of the year, there was so much to be positive about.
Sure.
Unfortunately, the results just haven't been there. The North game, we got blown away. We've been in every other game that we've played this year, but we just haven't played 4 quarters. And so we are on the ladder because that's where we kind of deserve to be, in that we're sort of a bottom quarter of the competition side this year. We're just not consistent enough.
So Kangaroos first, Hawthorn second, Melbourne third, Brisbane fourth, Adelaide fifth, Carlton sixth, seven is St Kilda, and eight is West Coast. We are 13th. We've got so our rest of our games for the rest of the year. We've got 3 more games. So if we just wanted to quickly go through them to think about who we kind of play against around us. So the next,
Yeah, so we've got Hawthorn at home this Friday at Norwood Oval against the Crows the week after, also a Friday night.
yep, big
And
game.
then we finish off the season away against DWS. So,
They're 15th,
um,
so that could be a win. So if we can jag one of the wins against either Hawthorn, which is going to be really tough, second on the ladder. That's at home though. That is the last game, and the club is really building it up to let everyone know this is the last time you're seeing the girls live at home before. Obviously, they're in Norwood Oval, so if you want to get over to Norwood to see them before they are away in Sydney for the last game on the 1st of November.
yeah, correct. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, a couple of selection wise, they talked about after the game that there were a couple of girls a couple of the ladies had been really crook during the week.
Yep.
Um, but they took 3 emergencies, and so they obviously made the decision that they'd go with the side selected rather than. But there were a couple of the players looked like they were a bit under the weather.
Right.
Having said that, it was a 35-degree day that got down to 32 by the start of the game, and that's like 10 to 15 degrees hotter than we've been experiencing in Adelaide. So that's like hard in itself. So
So, mate,
yeah, to lose a midfielder so early, that certainly hurt the rotations through the midfield. But
yep.
yeah, just we didn't provide a 4-quarter effort like we would have hoped.
So gut feeling with the 3 games, you Hawthorn probably a loss, Adelaide tough one, maybe a win, but at Norwood against a team that's fifth on the ladder, possibly a loss, and then there's a chance for a win, but we are bottom of the ladder down there with GWS. So, can you just give us a bit of a forecast on the next three games where you think we'll finish on the ladder, based on us being 13th now with three games to go? Just give
Look,
us a bit of a forecast on how you kind of see the rest of the season playing out. If you can just do a bit of a highlight, a bit of a zoom out.
so the Hut says that the footy gods will smile on us and we'll have three fantastic wins and we'll fall into the finals by percentage. The realistic side of things is
Sure.
we had such a fantastic win against Hawthorn last year, so they'll come out to try and return the
Absolutely.
favour from what we did to them last
In
year.
the finals.
Again, it's at our home ground. It's Friday night, like you said, it's the last game of the
Big
season
game.
on our deck. I think it'll go closer than what people think. Like again, our best game of the year was against Melbourne, and if we can get the inside and outside side of things right,
Yep.
then we're well and truly in it. So Hawthorn's biggest asset is that they've got some like very fast-paced Irish ladies in their forward
Yep.
line,
Okay.
and they've got some really hard at it midfielders. Now they're one of their key midfielders is out injured at the moment.
Right. Okay.
But if we can match them in intensity, then like anything's a possibility. We beat the Crows in the pre-season
Yep.
trial matches, and again, it's a showdown. So you'd want the side to bring the best of themselves. The Crows obviously are starting to try and wind things up to go for the finals, and then the Giants is the end of the season. The seasons are so short. The players like enjoy playing if they and when they can. So I think, as you said earlier, Hawthorn and the Crows would be favourites in those two games. And then I guess it depends on what we can, who's available come the final round of the season.
Yep.
In terms of positives, Ash Woodland's been a big positive. Matilda Scholes continues to go from strength to strength. Opposition have identified that Sinead Goody is a key aspect of our running power, so they kind of sit on her. Just outside and Indy Tahu, like fantastic to see what she's been able to produce given the period of time that she's been out. We've had a few new players, potentially a few. Like we've got such a young squad at the moment. There's positives to be seen in the squad, but they're not producing the full four quarters, which is part and parcel of having such a young side. So in one of those three remaining games, which one I'm not sure, they'll put together a really strong effort. I've no doubt. Which one it is, I'm not sure which game it is. Hopefully it's the Hawthorn game, and then they can take that confidence into the remaining two games of the year. But again, their season is so short, so they can't dwell on the fact that they've not produced what they wanted to. There's a few players that will be like by the end of the season, the club will need to make some tough decisions on. So again, everybody needs to go out there and give their best whilst they can, and have fun in doing so. And let's hope they can put together 12 good quarters of footy between now and the end of the season.
It's three grounds to go. We can almost predict already where where things are going to lie. So it's almost a bit of a floating a floating rating system for the next 3 weeks, and and I guess is, as you say, one game with injuries and everything that comes with it. Who knows, in 7 days' time, kind of how healthy we are and what happens to Adelaide if they have a big couple of injuries and they get exposed in a certain area of the ground, and then the game at Norwood Oval is a such an unpredictable game because you've got another round before
Exactly.
to get into. All right, mate. So, anything else you wanted to kind of just touch on before we head out of the studio here? Is there anything else that's happening with the team at the moment?
No, no, just
That's about it.
yeah. Obviously, half the ground at Alberton is out of bounds because of
Yeah.
renovations.
Okie dokie.
Um,
Today.
they're moving the women's facilities over to the main side,
Right.
which makes sense. Obviously, keep the whole club in the one side of the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I think there's some the work's going to start on the next grandstand as well, so that
Beautiful.
the capacity can start to increase, which hopefully uh, gets more supporters along and a bigger and better contribution from the crowd, and in turn the
Absolutely.
players return favour with bigger and better contributions on the field.
Absolutely, mate. Well, thanks very much. That's a good report. We'll get together again next week. Just, I guess, as I say, hopefully with a nice win against Hawthorn. And that's this Friday night, you say? So Friday night?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, get down to it.
Yeah. It
We
starts
could
at
have a big crowd.
quarter to 7 Adelaide time.
Let's hope we get a big, massive crowd, and it's a big celebration to finish off at least for the last game at home. So be nice to see.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, guys, and until next week, go the power.
Go the power.